Today, we're heading into a world where the ocean is, get this, a living flame of memory. And the people who guard it, they're way more than just soldiers. They're woven into a sacred mythology. We're going inside the Arreqqana Coast Guard. Okay, let's get into it.
And we're going to start right here with this single line from a young cadet's journal. Picture it. It's late, it's dark, you're on the deck of a ship called the SS Varina Flamehawk, and a huge realization is dawning on you. This job isn't just about watching the waves. No, it's about becoming something else entirely. This one thought really sets the stage for everything we're about to uncover.
And this is the kind of wisdom that gets passed down on these ships. I mean, that's not something you find in a standard issue manual, right? It's pure philosophy. It tells you that service here is all about presence, about embodying a tradition so deeply that the ocean itself is supposed to take notice.
So let's zoom in on that personal moment. Who are these cadets, really, standing watch in the middle of the night? Let's get to know one of them.
This is Cadet Vishala. We find her at her post, near something called a sigil vent, which already sounds ancient and important. She's doing the normal stuff, polishing her dagger, practicing knots, but inside, she's on this incredibly deep journey. She feels something loud in her silence, which she calls a voice I hadn't earned yet, all while holding on to her mother's flame pendant. It's so personal.
But Vishala's quiet, introspective world? That's not the only way to be. On the very same ship, you've got cadets like Suravara. She's all action, shouting storm warnings, improvising in the moment, finding her command voice under immense pressure. So you see, one is seeking a voice in the silence, while the other is forging one in the storm. And the Coast Guard, it needs both.
So how do all these individual moments, these different personalities, connect to something bigger? Well, let's zoom out and look at the huge philosophical system that shapes their entire world, the why behind everything they do.
The whole organization is built on something called Arreqqana naval lore. And this is the key thing to get. This is not just a bunch of old military traditions. It's described as a woven mythology. Every single action, every rank, every thread in the uniform is part of this huge spiritual story. They're not just patrolling a coast. They are, quite literally, the guardians of the sacred flame waters.
And this lore, it's built on 5 core pillars that just change how you see everything. The ocean? It's a living flame of memory. The ships they sail on are threaded vessels. They're spiritually alive. Even the ranks are more like spiritual roles. An admiral is the voice of the tide. And a cadet, like Vishala, she's a young flame thread, slowly being woven into this grand tradition. And this philosophy isn't just for books or lectures. They live this stuff every single day. Their mornings start with flame breathing. Cadets literally speak their names to the ship's hull to bind their thread to it. The mess hall becomes a place for story circles with the elders. The ship even has a voice chamber, a heart, that has to be fed sacred words. It's a completely integrated, incredible way of life.
Okay, so with a culture this deep, this demanding, how on earth does anyone even get in? That brings us to the trial that every single hopeful has to face.
It's called the Vuvukara exam, or if you want the full formal title, the Sacred Trial of the Ocean Flame. And the name alone tells you this is way more than a fitness test and a written exam. This is a spiritual and intellectual crucible designed to find the very few who can truly become guardians. The exam is broken down into 4 trials, and it's this fascinating blend of the practical and the profound. So yeah, you have combat readiness, but you also have elemental knowledge, where you're tested on sacred lore. Your moral integrity is scored by retired officers based on your answers to ethical questions. And the physical trial is just wild. It combines body and spirit. You have to recite sigils while sprinting or hold your breath for insane amounts of time. It's a test of your whole being. And the standards are, as you can probably guess, incredibly high. To even be considered for the officer track right away, you have to hit that top tier, the Vazakar Flame, which is a near-perfect score. If you score below a 12, you're out. And you can't just try again next month, you have to wait 3 full title cycles. This system makes sure that only the absolute best, the most dedicated, get through.
So what does success actually look like? Who is that ideal figure that cadets like Vishala and Suravara are aspiring to become? Well, let's take a look at a living legend.
These are the exam scores for Admiral Trisavnia Varakal's Shanua. Just take a second and let these numbers sink in.
a perfect 100 in sacred root memory, a 99 on the spoken command test, which actually measures your vocal resonance. This isn't just top of the class. This is the kind of mastery that becomes myth. This is the gold standard.
And of course, her career lived up to that unbelievable start. She designed new tech, she pulled off impossible feats like steering a broken ship through a triple storm that lasted 2 days, and her legacy is literally carved into the Kivari flame wall for saving 160 civilians. This is what it means to become a true guardian.
And this famous quote from her just perfectly sums up the entire philosophy. It's not about domination, it's not about control, it's about integration. We braid ourselves into her memory. I mean, what a beautiful, powerful way to describe their entire purpose.
Which brings us right back to where we started, on that dark ship with Cadet Vishala. After everything we've learned, that quiet question from her journal suddenly feels so much deeper, doesn't it? In this world of giant legends, sacred oaths, and cosmic duties, maybe the real challenge is just forging an identity that's strong enough to live up to it all, becoming your own echo. What a thought to end on.